7. Anyway, hi, I'm Royce Kincaid from Newton, North Carolina. I'm going to tell you about how to put a raccoon in a mailbox. True story. Grew up on a farm here in North Carolina, and my cat just jumped up on here, so my cat might get in the video any second now. So, grew up on a farm in North Carolina. Growing up on a farm in North Carolina is not quite like growing up on a farm anywhere else, I don't think, as best as I can tell, nor is it like growing up in a subdivision. Ooh, not like a subdivision at all. So, we had cows. Cows, fed them bread from the Dale Bakery. Cow's favorite bread is a Entenmann's chocolate cake donut covered with chocolate icing, covered with chocolate sprinkles. Have found out that if you pour a orange bucket full of this out in front of the cows, there will be a stampede, but it stops at the pile of donuts. That's another story. Sorry, it's my cat. Anyway, back to the raccoon in the mailbox. Keep bread in 55-gallon drum barrels in the building. And anytime we would catch a raccoon, we'd call a fellow by the name of Tony Stillwell. He would come and pick up the raccoons from us because he had a couple of young red-boned hounds that he was training to hunt. He put them in a rolling cage, and the dogs would chase it, and the raccoons would get out of the cage and scamper off into the woods. No raccoons were ever injured in the making of this video, by the way. Called Tony one Saturday morning and said, hey, we caught a raccoon. It's a really big raccoon, by the way. We have a live trap. It's about yay big. You just can't see the proportions of my hands on this little screen. And it's pretty big. It fills up the whole cage. He's not a happy raccoon. He said, that's okay. So I've been having trouble anyway when we catch them, getting them from one cage to the other. Said, I got a plan this time. Said, I got a plan. You're going to like my plan. I said, it's a good plan. It's a great plan. You're going to love the plan. So Tony shows up, and he's a former Army veteran. He's got a limp on one side, got a little bum leg, and that comes into the story later, as you will see from the dance that goes along with the story. He shows up at the house and walks out to his truck, and there in the back of his truck, in the tailgate of his truck, sits his plan, his ultimate plan, his great plan. It's a mailbox, a very large mailbox. The kind you see usually in North Carolina that has dents and holes in it from where people hit them with mailboxes. Hit the mailboxes with ball bats riding down the road, or throw glass drink bottles through them. Not that I've ever done that. I'm just saying other people have. Anyway, so we pull down to the barn, and there it is. We pull up down there to the barn, and he gets out, and he gets his mailbox out, and he sets it on the ground, and we pull the cage out of the building, and there's this big unhappy raccoon in the cage. He probably weighs about 18, 20, 25 pounds maybe. Big raccoon, not happy. So Tony's got him one of those poles, one of those catcher poles with the noose on the end, the metal noose, and he slides it out and he slides it down to the cage, and the raccoon, he's fishing for the raccoon, trying to get it around his neck, and the raccoon keeps going. Because your raccoons have very articulate hands, and they're trying to keep this thing off their neck. And he finally gets it around the neck part, and he goes to pull the raccoon out. What does the raccoon do? You can't see my hands. Do that. He goes, grabs the sides of the cage, picks the cage up 2 or 3 times. My dad in his brilliance says, hold the cage down for him. I ain't touching that cage. It's got an angry raccoon in it. Really? Seriously? Pick up a cage with... No. So anyway, finally what we do is run a broom handle through the bottom of the cage, hold the cage down, he pulls the raccoon out the top, so we have an unhappy raccoon on the end of a holding pole sitting beside of a mailbox. So Tony has this brilliant idea. What he's going to do, he's just going to pick the raccoon up, sit the raccoon in the mailbox. Pretty simple, right? Except for the small fact that I think the raccoon was actually larger than the mailbox. So he picks this raccoon up it goes into the mailbox. Yeah, have you ever just put a cat in a barrel? It's just another thing about my childhood that other people didn't experience. Cat in a barrel, mouse in the barrel, feed barrel, cat. That's another story. Anyway, so Tony's got his raccoon on the end of the pole. He sits it down on top of the mailbox that is open, by the way. But the raccoon doesn't. He spread eagle on top of it with his feet out, catches the thing, wiggles, knocks it over. Here's where the dance comes in, because Tony's got that bum leg, so he round in a big old circle. Yeah, that was attractive. round in a big old circle. And here he comes. Set the mailbox back up, boys. We're coming around again. Set the mailbox back up. Up goes the raccoon. Down goes the raccoon. The raccoon stands on top of the mailbox. Bam! The mailbox falls over again. Here comes the dance again. But I'm not going to do it because you just saw it. It's late. And anyway, he round again. He goes in his little dance, set the mailbox back up, and he goes, "We're going to hit first this time, boys." Raccoon goes up in the air, over into the mailbox. And what does he do? You guessed it. He grabs the sides of the mailbox, pulls his head back out, shakes real good, knocks the mailbox over. Well, during all of this, here's where the cows come in. The cows are across the road. Road being a gravel road, 3 or 4 houses, country, North Carolina. They've walked up to the fence across the road, gravel road. They've walked up to the fence, and they're standing as cows do, and they have this blank stare, and they're just looking. That's what cows do. They're cows. Good Lord. Anyway, so there's this line of 15 cows standing across the road at a barbed wire fence, looking. Tony comes around one more time with the raccoon on the end of the pole. He goes up. That is when we realized the cable broke. He's just holding the pole with this cable sticking straight out in the air. And there ain't no raccoon up there. Raccoon's sitting down here on the ground. You remember the unhappy raccoon that we were talking about earlier? Well, this unhappy raccoon is now loose. And he is still very, very unhappy. Can't say I blame him. He's had a bad morning, had a bad night. He was just going to get some donuts. I can't blame him for being unhappy. So everybody's standing there stock stone still. The angry raccoon's even sitting there still. And everybody just looking at each other. You know that look? You're looking at the raccoon. The raccoon's even sitting there looking at us going, "So what do we do now, fellas?" And my dad, in all his infinite wisdom, or finite wisdom, could go either way sometimes. He looks at this raccoon and he goes, "Hitcha!" It may not have been the brightest thing he had ever done. At that time he got down on all fours and charged a bull. That's another story. Also, not one of his better moments. But I digress. The raccoon takes off, running, pell-mell, fast as he can. All you see is his tail up in the air, and he's gone. Remember the cows? The 15 cows that are standing at the fence? Yeah. So they're all lined up at the fence watching what's going on with complete and utter wonder and determination to figure it out. And they're watching the raccoon get closer and closer to the fence. And I swear to you, to this day, when that raccoon broke the plane of that fence, all them cows exploded running. 15 cows on a dead stampede run, chased by an angry raccoon down the hill, across the creek. And the last time we saw that raccoon, he was chasing those cows over the hill. Never saw that raccoon again. Cows eventually came back, but not the raccoon. Well, thank you for your time. My 10 minutes is almost up. And if you care to hear more of these fascinating and slightly droll stories, choose mine. All right, that's Royce Kincaid from Newton, North Carolina. Thank you. Y'all have a good day.